The last video I did on cars to do with this DLC, I did a prediction, and this video is solely cars that I think they should bring in GTA. They might actually bring these. Hopefully you enjoy. Please, Rockstar, how many times do I have to ask for this? The chaser. We need another chaser in GTA. You can't just leave us with an intruder. And in this case, I'm talking about the JZX81, but any variant really. We just want to see another chaser, and with how realistic Rockstar are getting some of these cars, I think they can make a really good chaser. Rockstar are now bringing cars out with a whole host of modifications that are not even tuner vehicles or Benny's vehicles. Like, look at the Kanjo SJ, it has so many modifications, and the chaser should be an example which those multiple modifications should be showcased on. We need a chaser. I don't want it to be HSW, I don't want it to be Benny's, even though that would be pretty cool. Just give us another chaser, please. We need it. One of the more beautiful four doors to date, the GT63. I think this thing looks beautiful, better looking than all its competitors. There's no doubting it, no matter what cars you're into, no matter if you're into JDM cars, supercars, classic cars, you just gotta look at this thing and think Mercedes did a great job with this. We need to have it in the game. I feel like because they have the Schlagen, they'll make it very similar to the Schlagen, like use the same headlights and the tail lights, and then just make it a bit four-door, a bit chunkier. I'd love to see a concept that is more related to the real life one. The Golf R. This is something that is so popular in Europe. I think we need hatchback. Such a common design. The Golf is legendary. I mean, we have the club, we have the Mark 1 Golf in GTA Online, but we have 0 generations after that. We have no more generations. I think the Mark 7 is iconic. A lot of people love it. I don't want to really see the new one. I want to see this model, which is the Mark 7.5, the Golf R. It's just nice to have a hot hatch. How many hot hatches do we have in the game? We had the Issy Sport out of every vehicle. Why that out of every single vehicle? Now, the Sentinel from GTA 4. This Sentinel is an older gen Sentinel, and I'm not really talking about just Sentinel here. I want to see older vehicles from GTA 4, like the original Veltzer and the Corvette from GTA 4. Like, there should be a DLC or at least a pack that they bring out that just brings all these old gen cars. Imagine they brought it out for GTA Plus members. That would annoy me and excite me at the same time. I'll be like, wow. And then probably 80% of you who watch this video are probably going to buy GTA Plus just for that old gen pack, but also complain at the same time, which I understand. What a great concept, an OG pack. Rockstar, if you're watching it, please put it in the game. Don't do the GTA Plus thing, which I mentioned, but you also can if you want to, if it's additional. There's different oracles in the game, but we've not even had an update to them. It's weird that something so popular in the OG GTA 5 has not been updated. Why? The 7 series is something I really want. I really do think Rockstar need to add into the luxury class as well. It just seems like they're all going for sporty and pedestrian cars right now, and a lot of SUVs. They're not that focused on luxury vehicles like the S-Class as well. And I think the 7 series, especially this gen, needs to be added into the game. It will give a nice refreshing look. There's no other car that really looks like this. I was saying everyone loves the GT63 4-door, and I think it's the same thing with the M8. The M8 is such a beautiful car no matter what car you're into. I want this to be added. It needs to be added. It's a wow factor in real life, and I think Rockstar could do a really good job of this. It's definitely unique in the BMW lineup. Like, there's not really a BMW that's this squatted and wide and has that aggressive look all over. Rockstar can easily bring this into the game, add their twist to it. Just please don't make it look that ugly, because this car has so many good looking features in real life. Don't ruin it. Oh, the W204 C63. Now this gen lines up with more of the Schwarzer gen, so it would be a good like Schwarzer Mark II. This would be such a nice car to bring in the game. It looks amazing, but the big ideal part about this in real life is the sound. And the sound has made this car, or is going to make this car, legendary. It's like if they brought the LFA into the game. If they brought an LFA into the game, they'd have to make it sound good, even though they kind of have an LFA in the game that doesn't really sound good. But with this C63, they'll have to make a really nice V8 sound, and it'll have to be very apparent and loud. And if they could make it look close to the model, it's a buy from all round. I'd have at least 3 of these things, because you know the modifications will end up making it look like different variants and the Black Series. It will just look good. A lot of you may be confused at why I picked the 488, like there's so many other better cars. But really, when it comes to Ferrari, with the 488, the 458, that generation, that shape, the iconic Ferrari look, I think we lack in that. We have all the newer type models. We have like the GT specs, but we don't have the iconic like late 2000s, like early 2010s, the period where we grew up, those iconic Ferraris in the game. They just have the newer models, which is really weird because some cars in the game, like the Mercedes, they'll have more of the older generation cars of Mercedes and not bring new gen versions out. But with Ferrari, they'll bring new gen versions out and not the slightly older ones. The G80 M3, I think there's a lot of cars now in GTA that are not being brought out that we assume that are going to come out. Like the M3, M4, very popular cars, loved by many people. So you'd assume that they'd come in GTA 5, but they're not coming in GTA 5. The theme that Rockstar are focusing on, bringing out cars that are more efficient for GTA 6. Not something that will be in the limelight right now in GTA 5. Because if you think about it, they would have brought out the Cybertruck. But the G80 M3 or the G82 M4, I would love to see. It would look good. They need to add the new BMW kidney grille cars, maybe even meme it a bit, or just bring it, please. I think we need a HSW pickup. We need HSW in all variants, and I think the TRX is going to be the best example to showcase that. It makes sense. It's a very popular car in the US. I think like every American knows what it is. I'm surprised they've not brought a more realistic looking Ram out, but in this case they can literally bring the TRX with HSW, and it's like a win-win in every area. And I do want to see a pickup that's HSW. The RSQ8. I think we do need an SUV from Audi, even Mercedes at this point, but I think the RSQ8 is such a well-known vehicle to add in. They can literally just copy the performance of the Taurus, which a lot of you know that in real life, the Urus has the same engine as the RSQ8. Just tweak the dynamics of the car, and I think Rockstar can do a good job with this, and they will sell out quite a lot. I know a lot of the cars on this list have been European, but I think when it comes to American cars, and definitely the more famous American cars, Rockstar have added so much. I mean, because we are talking about a US-based game, but I think a great addition would be the RSQ8, and it will just add a bit more variety. The RS7, another Audi? Yeah, I mean, I think Rockstar in GTA are lacking on Audis. It's like they've given us, you know, the RS5, the Tailgate RS. They gave us more of the smaller range models in Audi. I mean, they have with a lot of cars, even with the BMWs to be fair. But now I think it's time for them to add more of the top of the range models. But they've just avoided certain genres. I feel like Rockstar are aiming these vehicles more to poster cars instead of the mature four-door cars. And I think the RS7 will be a good representation of that. It looks unique. And maybe the newer model, I think this RS7 definitely looks more outdated now. Yeah, let me know what you think. I've put down what I want, and yeah, there are a lot of European cars on the list. Let me know what you want. I think there's a big difference, as I've said, to what I want in the DLC compared to what is realistic to bring. And I do think we need a refreshment. There's a lot of cars that I want that I've been expecting forever, but a lot of these I feel like just won't come. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you do enjoy. I'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah, if you did like this video in any way, please do leave a like.